Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, as you can see, I'm fine. Kisumu is a bit chilly today, but the weather is fantastic. Maybe you could also let me know where you're watching this video from. William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, has literally reported Raila Odinga to his foreign masters. And the question is, why would William Ruto report Raila Odinga to all foreign missions, UN agencies, and all international organizations? I want us to look at that embarrassing letter which was posted yesterday on the official page of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So I want you to spare a few minutes and I want to go verbatim. Now, this letter was posted yesterday at around 15 minutes past 7 p.m. And this is how they captioned it. Foreign Affairs Kenya presents its compliment to all diplomatic missions, that's basically all embassies, UN agencies. So it means if there's any UN agency, UNDP, World Food Program, all of them, and also international organizations based in Kenya, and has the honor to inform as follows. Now, this is what they are informing these foreign agencies. This letter is actually signed to all diplomatic missions based in Nairobi, United Nations agencies based in Nairobi, international organizations based in Nairobi. Now, let us just go through the letter, which is very embarrassing to the country. The letter begins that the Ministry of Foreign and Diplomatic Affairs of the Republic of Kenya presents its compliment to all diplomatic missions, United Nations agencies, and international organizations based in Kenya, and has the honor to inform or to report as follows. Now, this is what they are telling the foreign agencies, that on or about 13th of March 2023, Honorable Raila Odinga, the opposition leader, called for nationwide protest whose central purport included having his supporters march to the seat of Kenya's presidency, State House, oust the constitutionally elected President of the Republic of Kenya, and cause himself installed as president. You know, that opening paragraph, in my view, is the most embarrassing paragraph in the whole letter, because you are addressing a letter to foreign missions who have intelligence. For example, American government has intelligence, UK government has intelligence, even the UN itself, they have their own intelligence. So they know what's happening in the country as long as they are in the country. And you are telling them that Raila Odinga called for demonstrations to march to State House to kick out Ruto, which was not the main thing. Why would, okay, even if it was the case, why are they telling them that, you know, the opposition leader ask his supporters to go to State House? Does it mean that the Kenyan government under William Ruto cannot protect their presidency? You know, it's really embarrassing. And it goes further to say somewhere here, that the ministry further wishes to inform that in spite of failing in adhering to the law today, which was the day of Mandamano, which was on 20th March, Mr. Odinga mobilized his supporters to execute his intention. Security officers prevented the demonstrators from accessing the Central Business District and State House due to egregious and highly provocative nature of the demonstrations, but also on account of failure by organizers to furnish a notification containing specific details about the protest to the police. Despite the restraint by police, some of the protesters destroyed and looted property whose value will be determined in the days ahead. So if you read this letter, then you even wonder where these guys are coming from. The police were actually deployed in the streets of Nairobi several days before the demonstrations. In fact, from the day Raila Odinga announced that he was going to mobilize his supporters to Nairobi and march to State House, the government blocked State House Road. Even a day before the demonstration, CBD was actually locked out. These guys had barricaded all roads leading to CBD. And you know, it's very funny that they are saying that provocative nature of demonstration, but on the account that the organizers failed to furnish. The organizers of this demonstration actually notified the police that on 20th, we are coming to Nairobi to demonstrate. And what we are going to do is that we are going to converge at KICC. Then from KICC, we are going to go all the way to office of the president. If you don't find Ruto there, then we are going to go to State House. But the only people who will be allowed there to submit a petition are the representative. On that day, KICC was a no-go zone. So why do you think they are trying to accuse Raila and his team of all this? It's because they know that there are rules which governs demonstrations and picketing. And some of these rules are part of UN conventions. And they are saying further, the protest and destruction to properties are a continuation of opposition leader Honorable Raila Odinga's well-known modus operandi deployed since 1997 to force extra-constitutional political settlement for his own self-aggrandizement. So the truth of the matter is that some of these foreign missions have actually supported Raila Odinga in the push for reforms. The reforms we are witnessing in this country never came peacefully, and the foreign missions understand. The fact is, as much as they want to portray Raila Odinga as a historical constitutional reformist, the truth is certain things must be done the way Raila Odinga is doing. And the foreign missions understand that. Why they are saying this is because they fear that some of these foreign missions might actually go and support Raila Odinga. And let me just read for you. The ministry, in fact, even spelling mistakes, this simple spelling mistake like in this, there's no E. The ministry wishes to recall that Kenya conducted an open democratic elections on the 9th August 2022, and His Excellency William Ruto won the elections. Subsequently, election-related issues raised by Odinga were litigated upon before the country's Supreme Court that upheld the president's victory, paving way for swearing in on the 13th September 2022. I don't know, but something tells me that the person who wrote this just sat on his laptop from home and penned this letter without going the normal checks, which is supposed to be the norm within the government. Otherwise, you know what these guys are saying here. You know, we Kenyans know that elections were conducted. Kenyans know that IBC declared Ruto. Kenyans know that the Supreme Court upheld the ruling. And Kenyans also know that Raila Odinga is only demanding for three things, which they are not mentioning here. The first thing Raila Odinga is mentioning, and this is why this letter is embarrassing, is that open the server, stop the recruitment of IBC commissioners, and lower the cost of living. So why would you talk of Ruto won, telling foreign missions that Ruto won, why would you repeat when these guys haven't attended the swearing-in ceremony? So if I were to be the guy in charge of foreign affairs, I would not do this kind of a letter. Or if I were to do it, there are certain elements which I would definitely leave out. And by the way, I've had that dog. And you know, we used to have that cock. You know, your cock will change. You told me to eat it. Okay, let's go further. So they are saying, further, it is straight that almost all countries in the world, Africa in particular, suffered economic shocks occasioned by COVID-19 pandemic, which I agree, and exacerbated by Russia-Ukraine war. Kenya, like many countries on the continent, is still struggling to recover, a fact made more onerous by the most debilitating drought indicates. The government is not addressing a legitimate problem of high cost of living witnessed in the entire globe. You see, it is William Ruto who told the country and the world that the cost of living in this country was not occasioned by Russia. And in fact, he used to ask, how can the war in Russia affect cost of petrol? COVID, he never appreciated that Uhuru Kenyatta's rule, almost 2 years, was affected by COVID, and he never acknowledged that drought affected all this. Now, that's why I always say here that one of the biggest problems William Ruto is going to face is the expectations of the people who voted for him. He made promises which he knew so well he was not going to address. For example, up to this stage, William Ruto has not increased the salary of the policemen. William Ruto was on record, Rigathi Gachagua was on record telling the police that the only reason why their salary has not been increased is because of Raila Odinga's petition. That if Raila Odinga had not petitioned the court, then probably they would have immediately increased the salary of the police. So basically, the untamed appetite for lies. And they are saying, whereas the opposition leader called for nationwide protest when the government is barely 6 months in office and working hard to revive the economy is insensitive, Mr. Odinga's encouragement of protesters to storm state installations, including country seat of presidency, it is outright scandalous, even treasonous. So in my view, I think this letter ought not to have found its way to the official Twitter handle of State House. I can suspect where this letter is originating from. You know, Uhuru Kenyatta disbanded a body which was called the Presidential Strategic Communications Unit, which was headed by Eric Ngeno, Dennis Itumbi, and others. I tend to think that these are the guys who are writing this letter. And you see, the letters they used to pen during that time were actually supposed to be to Kenyans. If this letter was just written and then shared to Kenyan media, or Dennis Itumbi shared it, I would not have a problem. But we are talking of a foreign affairs official Twitter handle. It is really shocking. The ministry assures that the National Police Service will remain vigilant to deter weaponization of protest for unconstitutional purposes. Moreover, the police will continue to protect safety, security, and property of all, and to exercise utmost restraint, even in the face of extreme provocation in dealing with any protest. The ministry wishes to encourage all diplomatic missions and all international organizations to monitor police and media sources for any changes to road closures or any measures that may affect their movement. In addition, in line with the importance of holding those responsible for any crime that may be committed under the guise of protest, and ensure no impunity is encouraged, the government urges the international community to be vigilant in supporting the sanctioning of any conduct adverse to peace and security of the country. Now you get what they are trying to do. They want to sanction, they want the international community to sanction some of these leaders. You know, this letter is actually shameful. It's important that the government of Kenya appreciates the support of the international community in its effort to bolster economic recovery and improve the livelihood of its citizens. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs, the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs of the Republic of Kenya avail itself of the opportunity to renew to all missions and all international organizations based in Nairobi its assurance of its highest consideration. Now, that is all the Ministry of Foreign Affairs could write. I want to ask you, how many foreign affairs ministers do you think we have had in this country? If, for example, Robert Ouko were to wake up today and find this letter, how do you think he will feel? But why do you think these guys ended up writing this kind of a letter? For me, number one, they want foreign countries to actually align with the government. They are trying to force these foreign affairs, these foreign ministries, these foreign countries to actually support the government, even when they broke laws like they did. Number two, they are planning to issue some red alerts so that nobody would claim that, okay, why are you issuing red alerts against Kalonzo, Raila, and the rest? The good thing is that Raila Odinga told them, for me, I'm comfortable here. I'm not planning to go anywhere. And also they want to shift blame from government to the opposition. They want to shift the blame of protecting lives and properties from the police to government. So let us wait and see how everything is going to unfold. But the letter, in my view, is one of the most insensitive letters ever by any foreign ministry. Thank you, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.